Hi, thanks for clicking on my video. My name is Audrey, and this is week 4 of my fall garden series. Let's take a look at the progress of the garden. Here's the basil as my mom calls it. Here's the dill. So far, just that. None of the other little seeds that I planted have sprouted yet. Here's the cauliflower. This has grown a lot. Here's the parsley. See a lot of sprinkles in there. Now the thyme, nothing is growing. I've just been nursing a weed all this time. That's not a thyme. And I don't have any more seeds. So I'll just have to start again some other time. Although, I just spotted these. What are those? Is that thyme? Here's the cilantro. One of my favorites. I pick this all the time. Here's the sage. Got some good growth with the herbs. Alright, here's the cabbage and the cucumber. Still not certain if that's cabbage or not. Here's the tomato in the pot. It's coming along pretty nicely, actually. The in-ground tomato plant, I see these two, but they're so much smaller compared to the one in the pot. I wonder what's the difference, other than the fact that they're in a pot. But I mean, why are these so tiny and the other one has more growth? Here are the green beans. They are naturally starting to just weave themselves in this fence. Here are the peas. Alright, so the in-ground garden, I think might be almost a lost cause because the temperatures have been hot, and I think I may have started some of these things too soon, and you'll see why I say that, because this is the row, all of this is the row that had the greens. And there's nothing but weeds growing in here. When I get closer here, the mustard greens, now these are growing. These are coming along, but that's it. The area that had the broccoli, onions, Brussels sprouts, yeah, that's all gone. This is just, it has been taken over by weeds and grass. And the actual seedlings coming in, it's been hot, so I guess they've burned, because I have no trace of the little seedlings that were growing. There's no trace of them here. Same with the radishes. I think they're gone. The cabbage section, nothing has ever grown. Same with the carrots. There's nothing here. Here is where the lettuce is, and you can see it's kind of wilted. I think it's just been too hot. This was lettuce right here, and it's all wilted. It's all dead. So if I do plant some more, I think I should have just waited a little bit later. Here's the other cucumber plants, though. They're growing. This one, there. The little spinach that was here, that's gone. Here's the zucchini and the yellow squash there. The area that had the eggplant was here, and the butternut squash was in this area. But as you can see, there's nothing there. The herbs are coming in pretty nicely, and I don't have any complaints with them. The garden, in-ground garden, it's struggling. I think that we've had too many hot days, and most of the seedlings have wilted or just, I don't know what happened to them. Some of them are just gone, but more than likely, I'm going to have to try to wait until it gets cooler. When I first started the garden, We had a few cool days, and I thought that maybe we were starting to taper off as far as the heat goes, but I knew better. This is Texas. It doesn't get cold, or it doesn't even get cool that quickly, so I should have waited. I do have a few more seeds, so I may wait until either the last week of this month or maybe next month and try to start again. One thing I did notice is that the little seedlings that did grow, they actually grew a lot faster than when I planted them in the spring, which is the reason why I thought I could put them in the ground now and they would have a longer time before they would grow. But I guess because the ground was already warm, it didn't take them long to germinate. But with that being said, they were scalded by the sun and ended up wilting. I missed watering for one day, and then when I came out, most of them were gone. This week I ended up planting a couple of the seeds in the cups, so I do kind of hope that they will germinate first in the cups and grow enough so I can transplant them in the ground in the garden. We'll see how that turns out. What I'm going to do is just plant these seeds into these little cups. Now, before I had some that I planted in cups and nothing ever grew out of them, and I never did take it out. So what I'm going to do is take this soil out of here and put some fresh soil in and try to start my little seedlings again. I don't have a lot of soil, so I'm going to see if I can try to just replenish this old soil that was in the other cups and mix it in with this soil so it can stretch. So that's all the soil I have that was in the bag, and so I'm just going to take this other soil and crumble it up in here and just mix it in. Alright, so all of the soil is mixed together. I don't have anything to add to it other than this fertilizer, so I'm going to just mix some of it in here and hope I don't mess up. So I'm just going to mix it in here. Now that the soil is mixed, I'm going to fill each one of these cups with soil. I do have little holes poked at the bottom of the cups. I don't know if you can tell, but there are little holes poked at the bottom of each one of the cups. Alright, now that they're filled up, let's get some seeds going. I have a couple of sweet peppers. It says California Wonder. These look like bell peppers. I believe there's only like 1 or 2 seeds in here, but I'm just gonna put it in here. There were 3 little seeds. So I'm just gonna stick it in there like so and just kind of push it down in there. And that's it. Alright, here's what I have so far. I have bell peppers, butternut squash, carrots, cabbage, thyme, carrots, that's cabbage, and then turnip greens. Okay, so I do know that it is better to plant some of these things directly in the soil, in ground, but I'm not able to identify them as good just yet when they start growing, so I did want to plant some of them in these little pots so I can, or these cups, so I can recognize when they do grow, and I can compare them to the ones that's in the garden so I'll know what is a weed and what is the actual vegetable growing. It's a little later, and man, it is extra loud out here tonight. But what I'm going to do is take these sandwich bags and put them over the plants, the seeds, the little cups that I just planted. Act as kind of like a little mini greenhouse. And I just do them like this, like so. Alright, once they're thoroughly watered, like so, then I put this little bag over it. And I need to hurry up because these mosquitoes have really taken over this backyard. I don't really know what to do with them, what to do for them to get rid of them. But it's bad back here. And see, this is all I do. I'll leave the little baggie on top of them until they start sprouting, and then I'll take it off. Alright, here's what they look like when they're all bagged up. I put them out here on the platform where all the other plants are, and we'll monitor these starting today. Today is September 18th. Now this soil here, I'm just going to put back in the bag that I had it in. I don't want to leave it out because I think it's supposed to rain, and I don't have anywhere else to put it, so I'm just going to put it back in the bag. Nothing is growing inside of them yet, but what I do when I water them is just put some water at the bottom, and the water's been evaporating probably every other day, but it is enough to keep them wet inside the cups. This is the end of this week's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in next week's video. Bye.